Welcome to Iraqi Dinar News, your reliable source for key developments shaping Iraq's financial future. As of June 27, 2025, a monumental shift has officially taken place. The long-awaited revaluation of the Iraqi dinar is no longer speculation. It's confirmed, it's active, and it's changing the conversation globally. After years of debate, delays, and anticipation, the revaluation is now a reality. What's even more significant is the fact that the United States government is backing this move, lending critical support to Iraq's evolving financial structure. This moment marks a turning point for both Iraqi citizens and international holders of the dinar. And today, we're unpacking what it all means in practical terms. So what exactly is a currency revaluation? It's when a government officially increases the value of its national currency relative to other currencies. In this case, the Iraqi dinar has now been raised in value across global exchange markets. That change alone is major, but the story doesn't end there. Iraq has spent years making strategic moves, investing in infrastructure, rebuilding financial institutions, and attracting global investment. That consistent effort has now earned the recognition and support of the international community, especially from the United States. Why would the U.S. throw its support behind this revaluation? There are several clear motives. A more stable Iraq supports broader security in the Middle East, which is a U.S. strategic interest. At the same time, American companies benefit from a financially stronger Iraq. A revalued dinar opens the door to better trade agreements, cross-border partnerships, and more profitable business ventures for U.S. investors. Iraq's diversification efforts beyond oil are also appealing, making this a more viable long-term economic ally. All of this has led to clear signals from U.S. officials that they're standing behind Iraq's progress. Now let's discuss how this revaluation affects the average Iraqi citizen and dinar holders abroad. The first major effect is increased purchasing power. When the value of a currency rises, people can afford more with less. That extends from everyday necessities to imported goods and long-term savings. Inflation may stabilize, and families may see tangible improvements in their quality of life. But it's important to understand that revaluations are not a magic solution. They are part of a broader economic roadmap that includes education reform, infrastructure investment, institutional development, and reducing dependency on oil. The revaluation is one milestone on a longer journey toward national recovery and prosperity. Let's take a closer look at the numbers. While official rate changes are still being released, the confirmed upward adjustment means that the dinar now holds greater value against the US dollar. This isn't the result of a sudden announcement, it's been years in the making. Iraq has worked closely with international financial bodies, modernized its central banking system, launched investment platforms, and improved transparency. These moves have built investor confidence and laid the foundation for today's shift. Now that the revaluation is confirmed, foreign investors are already signaling increased interest in the Iraqi market, which could lead to more job creation and business expansion across the country. Skeptics are understandably asking, is this just more hype, or is it truly happening this time? That's a fair concern considering how often dinar discussions have been dominated by unverified claims in the past. But today's revaluation is backed by real-world data and confirmed statements. Leading financial outlets, independent analysts, and government officials are aligned for the first time in years. U.S.-based institutions are no longer silent. They're openly addressing Iraq's financial reforms and lending their voice to the validation of the dinar's new position. When a country like the United States puts its weight behind a currency reform, it signals policy, not speculation. Let's now explore how this change might shape Iraq's broader economic landscape. A strengthened dinar brings several potential benefits. It can help reduce the national debt, attract top-tier investors, and stabilize inflation. More favorable exchange rates allow Iraq to purchase goods from international markets at better prices, invest in its infrastructure more efficiently, and position itself as a regional trade leader. If managed with sound governance and policy discipline, This revaluation could serve as the launch pad for Iraq to emerge as a financial and commercial hub in the Middle East. Of course, real challenges still exist. Iraq will need to continue cracking down on corruption, improve access to quality education, and support fair business practices that give small and medium enterprises a chance to thrive. But the positive momentum is real. The successful revaluation provides credibility not just with financial institutions, but with international partners, who may now take a second look at Iraq's potential. And this could trigger a chain reaction. As Iraq rises, neighboring countries may respond with their own economic reforms. This could lead to expanded regional cooperation and a stronger collective economy across the region. To put it in perspective, rewind to 2003 when Iraq was emerging from war. The economy was in disarray. Basic infrastructure was shattered. Banking systems were nearly non-functional, and the dinar had plummeted. The nation had to start from scratch. Over the last 2 decades, there were ups and downs, moments of hope and setbacks. But Iraq didn't give up. New leaders embraced reform, international experts provided technical support, and, perhaps most importantly, the Iraqi people remained resilient. What we're seeing today is not a stroke of luck. It's the result of consistent work, hard decisions, and years of planning. The revaluation of 2025 marks a powerful milestone in that journey. So what should you be doing now if you hold dinar or watching this development closely? First and foremost, stay calm and focused. Revaluations often bring excitement, but that can also lead to hasty decisions. Don't act purely on emotion. Verify everything from official financial sources. Consult with licensed financial advisors before converting your dinar or committing to any investment. If you're considering entering the Iraqi market, take time to research government-backed projects and new economic zones. Don't rush. The currency market will continue to adjust in the coming weeks. Banks may revise their policies, and market behavior will shift accordingly. A common concern people are voicing is whether this revaluation could trigger inflation. The answer, based on current policy direction, is that Iraq has prepared for this. The Central Bank of Iraq has implemented proactive monetary strategies to balance the rising value of the dinar with price stability. Strong reserves, targeted lending policies, and greater domestic production capacity give Iraq tools to control inflationary pressure. And with U.S. support, there's added institutional confidence that Iraq won't repeat past economic mistakes. That said, global markets will be monitoring inflation indicators closely, and the central bank stands ready to respond if needed. Now, let's look at how the private sector stands to gain. A stronger dinar enables Iraqi businesses to import goods more affordably, access international capital, and offer more competitive wages. This sets the stage for job growth and stronger consumer activity. Entrepreneurs will find more pathways to expand. Small businesses may gain access to new financing tools, and global firms might begin viewing Iraq as a credible partner for long-term investments. Still, protections will be needed to ensure that local businesses aren't overshadowed by larger international players. Fair regulation and market oversight will be critical in this next phase. The revaluation also transforms Iraq's image. For years, it was largely perceived as unstable and dependent on oil exports. That's changing. The world is beginning to see a country focused on modernization, fiscal discipline, and forward-looking reform. This shift enhances Iraq's international reputation. More students may choose Iraq for academic partnerships, more companies may seek expansion into Iraqi markets, and more tourists might visit now that the economy is stable and secure. The revaluation isn't just about monetary numbers. It's a message to the world that Iraq is ready for global integration. Digital modernization is another key outcome of this economic shift. Iraq's central bank has begun implementing technologies like online banking systems, mobile payment apps, and digitized transaction monitoring. These upgrades will help improve efficiency, reduce fraud, and enhance transparency. The move toward digital finance also appeals to international investors who are watching for signs of modernization before they commit capital. With better financial tech, citizens will be able to pay bills, move money, and invest, all from their smartphones. That represents a serious leap forward for Iraq's banking landscape. And while Iraq remains a top global oil exporter, the revaluation helps maximize this advantage. Every barrel now brings in more value with a stronger dinar. This additional revenue can be redirected into rebuilding infrastructure, enhancing public services, and investing in non-oil sectors like agriculture, tourism, and technology. Iraq is already using this moment to promote diversification, aiming to reduce overdependence on oil by funding long-term development projects. The strategy is clear: use oil wealth to power the next chapter of national growth. So, is now the right time to invest? Many analysts are cautiously optimistic. Real estate may see increased demand, stock markets are expected to gain traction, and new financial products are likely to emerge. Still, investors should be cautious. Political stability and policy consistency remain key factors. If you're planning to invest in Iraq, rely on professional advice. Avoid promises that sound too good and focus on reputable, government-supported ventures. In closing, for Iraqis living abroad or foreign dinar holders, this moment could be meaningful. Better exchange rates, improved investment channels, and enhanced opportunities to support businesses or family back home are all on the table. But each person's situation is different. Always follow the legal and financial guidelines in your home country before taking any action. The revaluation of the Iraqi dinar is no longer a possibility, it's a fact. And with clear backing from the United States, Iraq is signaling its intent to lead, rebuild, and participate meaningfully on the global stage. This is only the beginning of a much bigger transformation. Stay with Iraqi Dinar News as we continue to cover every development that shapes this historic shift. Subscribe, stay informed, and make wise decisions as this story continues to evolve.